A tale as old as time, and as recent as 1991.
They're coming! Final checks, everyone! Toot sweet!
No, you don't. If the master finds out you violated his orders and fed her, he will blame me.
Yes, I will make sure of it. But did you see us stand up to him? I am telling you, this girl is the one. They must fall in love if we are to be human again. And how can they fall in love if she stays in our room? Hey, Chapeau, you missed the spot.
No, she'll never love him.
A broken clock is right 2 times a day, mon ami, but this is not one of those times. Stand up straight. It's time to sparkle! Hey! I have no taste buds, but I can tell this is exquisite.
Beauty and the Beast. It's back. The 2017 live-action version of the 1991 animated Disney classic about a young prince who is cursed in his castle to be a beast until he can find true love, as long as he can do it before the last petal falls on the rose. Will it happen? Well, I've seen the original, so yeah, I think it does. Here's 5 things you might want to know about Beauty and the Beast. That's right. It's another remake by Disney of one of their animated classics. Now, I think there are 2 groups of people in the world, and so you need to tell me which you fit in, and I'll tell you how you're going to feel about this movie. One group thinks anytime you remake something that didn't need to be remade, it's just a bad effort all around and you should never do it. The other group likes revisiting the things in new forms that they've seen before. I happen to find myself in that second group. It doesn't bother me at all that people remake things, especially if they do it well, and I think Disney has been doing it well. But we'll start off just with that warning. If it bothers you, remakes aren't a good thing, why are you even going to see it? So I've tipped my hand a bit. We all have our biases. Mine is towards re-enjoying things that I love from before. I had a great time here. You know what it has to do? It has to put something I know and love, give me that nostalgia, but in a new context. And I think these movies are doing that so well. From the moment Belle started singing Bonjour and the whole town joined in with their parts, I was sold. It was like a drug. It was like somebody stuck the needle in my arm of Disney nostalgia, and I was just in. I had so much fun. And the thing is, there's new songs here too. I love the music all throughout. Now, the new songs didn't have that drug effect because I didn't know them, but they were still good. I really enjoyed them. So overall, I feel like the music here and the nostalgia factor is probably the main reason I came out smiling. But here's the other thing you have to do, especially when you're dealing with an Oscar-nominated animated film. You've got to hit it out of the park production-wise, and they do that too, especially the performances here. I was really worried more than anything else about live-action performances of these animated characters, because in the movie, those performances are so cartoony. If you rewatch the movie, there are things happening here that don't happen in the real world, so I didn't know how they were going to do that. What they did is they made a more realistic version of this story. So Luke Evans as Gaston is great because he's not the cartoony Gaston. He is the character Gaston. And I love the subtle changes they did in there. And I thought he was perfect. Josh Gad as LeFou is perfect. Kevin Kline as Maurice, I think, is the greatest example of what this movie does to change the texture of the story for a real-life cast. And I think he does a phenomenal job. Down the line, except for maybe Emma Watson was a little too subdued, but I still enjoyed her. I thought the performances here were great. I also have to say, I really enjoyed the added backstory to this Beauty and the Beast. There is something there that wasn't there before. I love the fact that we're getting a deeper understanding of these characters, specifically the parallel ways that Belle and the Beast and their lives line up because of their backstory. I found really affecting and powerful. My wife and I had a great conversation afterwards about how much more real that made the relationship between them feel. In the original, it's like, why is she falling for this beast? Just because, Stockholm Syndrome or what? But in this one, you get an idea, oh, they have kind of a shared backstory that impacts who they are in different ways. I thought that was really brilliant and probably the best thing the movie did that the original didn't. So I don't have a lot negative to say about the movie. I had a fabulous time, really enjoyed myself. The one thing I will mention, very slight, only brings it down just a little, but I think it's important. The Beast is not animated very well in full body animation. I think his character suffers the most from the transition to live action because it's a computer generated effect. The Beast in the animated film is so fluid and moves so well because it's animated. Here, when you see him walking from a distance, it just looks a little off to me. The face animation is great. I loved the close-up stuff. It's kind of the distance stuff took me out of it just a bit. Overall, though, the new Beauty and the Beast was a wonderful experience for me. I think it will be determined on whether you like seeing things you love in new versions or not as to whether or not you enjoy this. Overall, I did. I gave it an A-. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. We'll get to the best ever challenge here in a bit. Before we do, though, if you want to connect more, I would love that. Hit me up on Twitter. Having a lot of fun talking movies there. Good discussions going on. Aaron Dicer, Aarondicer, is my Twitter handle. You can also subscribe to the podcast. Lots of fun going on there, too. It's called SiftPop, SiftPop. Myself and Andrew Ormsby from the YouTube channel Flick Freaks do the weekly pop culture podcast there. So again, that's SiftPop. Just search for it in your podcast player. And hit me up here on YouTube as well. Leave comments, have fun, like videos, subscribe. That would be awesome. We've got a great community brewing here, and I'm really enjoying it. So thanks for being a part. All right, on to the best ever challenge, where you name the best movie ever in a particular category. Also try to identify my choice. Let's do the best movie ever that has the phrase "and the" in it, like Beauty and the Beast, or Smokey and the Bandit. I don't know if anybody was going to choose that one anyways. I'll give you a clue for mine. Mine is the one where we meet a father who named a dog after a United States state. Take a guess at mine in the comments. First person to get it right does get a point. As always, here's 5 extra seconds to hit subscribe. Just click the logo right down in this corner.